Darby Allin off the stage and right through Matt Hardy's soul to retain the TNT Championship. A coffin drop from heaven straight to hell and through the heart of Matt Hardy, the black heart of that son of a bitch Matt Hardy. An absolutely devastating move. Unbelievable! It's AEW Dynamite! I'm Joe Cronin! Jake DeMarco's in the house, baby! And are you ready for this? And through the heart of Matt Hardy! Yeah, let's jack it off, baby. What's going on? The Red Bull's kicking in, folks. We're live. Darby Allin off the top of the stage from the heavens straight to hell. Or we be planning to pillage the seas tonight there, aren't we, Jake? We're planning to masturbate with all the ladies in the audience tonight, aren't we?
I want your booty.
I want your poontang.
I need a real banana sticker, though, for it. That's what I'm missing.
Yeah, that'd be really. It looks really good, though.
It's better than that blue thing. So.
You kind of look a little bit like, what was his name?
Like I'm like a Walmart Bond villain.
No, you look like
I'm like a Wish Bond villain.
No,
that's what I am.
I'm thinking of somebody very specific from the WWF. It was like Jean-Pierre Lafitte or something like that. Remember that guy?
Oh, the original pirate, not Paul Burchill, the other one.
No.
Yeah.
It was
the one in the way early on.
What did he look like? Well, this is him right here.
Yeah. Somebody else said that on Twitter too.
Now, why does his eye patch look like a deflated balloon sack? I mean, like, what is that? What is that?
I think it was gimmick so he could see out of it. That's why it was crushed in. I think it had that velvet so he could see out of it.
What a pussy! Go out there and wrestle with the goddamn eye patch.
It does mess up your depth perception. I'll tell you that much.
Live the gimmick.
So, yeah, you should.
Well, I've actually heard you put sunglasses on with the patch, and like the dark.
People say that make it easier.
What the hell do I know though? I don't know a damn thing. I mean, look at what I'm doing.
Bond.
But yeah.
Not a great night tonight. It was okay, but some of the things just don't make sense to me. Maybe I'm being hypercritical, but
that
there
ending.
was a few things that just didn't work. The ending was awesome.
It saved it because otherwise it was like, what was that tonight? All right.
I hate to sound like Jim Cornette with the lazy booking comment, but I'm so tired of everything having to have like heat on top of heat on top of heat, and then you don't really get the payoffs, and then when you do, it's like, why are you doing it right away? They let the Inner Circle win immediately. So what's the point of the blood and guts match?
I think it's because, remember, the Inner Circle has been getting beat down, and they
got beat down once, though.
Yeah, but a lot of people were like, what are you doing?
Beat them in return even more hellacious than the Inner Circle got beat down. I mean, they made that one of FTR have like 10 stitches and staples and stuff. That beatdown was so much more savage than the Inner Circle one. And then since then, now they beat them already tonight. So the good guys won again. So I would have had them lose to go ahead and build up them needing the win at Blood and Guts.
But Jake, it's Sting!
Exactly. It was all to get the Tyson
Please stop
stuff.
doing that, Tony. Stop it.
That kills me now too. But
it's like, I get it because it was fun, but it's like, dude, what? Just call it like you are excited. Either call it like you really are excited, or stop calling it.
Don't fake it. Yeah,
the calling of like, see, I'm doing the thing you want. Like, don't stop that. That's really cringy. It's Sting. Like he knows. Like, but just be like, it's Sting.
It's Sting! Like, just do that. Like, that's all you got to do, and then everybody else does it. See, that the point is you do it for real, and then we all go, yeah, he did it. But when you go, I'm doing it, then we go, ugh.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
What the hell is that?
You can tell
how do I know these things?
Why
don't these people know these things? Like, how do we know these? Like, these are legends who are, like, brilliant, I thought. Like, what is going on? I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
Thought. I guess most of them have very few brain cells left.
Or they're just happy to be there.
Damage, but you know what took me out of the night the most was, honest to God, as soon as Matt Hardy hit Darby Allin with the chair, I was like, fuck this, I'm out. Like, why does it have to be a hardcore match?
Duncachino.
I didn't know these were on.
Why?
Duncachino. You want creamy goodness?
Oh, I got something to say about Tony in a minute.
Hello to my chocolate blend.
How impressive was Jade Cargill against the #1 contender for the Mission Pro Wrestling Championship? Wow.
Ryan Romano. What's up, Ryan Romano? How are you, brother? Good to hear from you, man.
I mean, Jade looked really green tonight.
Yeah, that was her roughest. I mean, she looked.
That was a rough showing. That
she looked good.
Match.
She looked good, like, physically.
Absolutely, she's got that perfect look. I mean, when she walks out, she commands attention. People's eyes tune to her. Definitely, no doubt about it.
She's without a doubt the female black narcissist Lex Luger. I mean, to me, that's what I see.
That's a perfect fit. She's not great in the ring, but she's got the awesome look and entrance. And
dude, she is Lex Luger. Like, I'm telling you. I brought back. People wanted me to bring back the goal. There's the goal. I don't know if we'll hit it because I have 3 different ways of donating now. But people wanted me to bring it back. There it is. Real
people
quick,
mentioned it in chat too. But
you know, Tony Khan. He had a lot to say to Vince about. Vince. You know what I do is I put down the carpets on the shows and everything. And I couldn't help but notice that they had a lot of spots tonight in the back where Tony Khan sits and everybody sits, and they were going to do a lot of wrestling in the back there. And a lot of it was hard to see, like very hard to see. And I couldn't help but play the role of Vince McMahon and want to tweet out, in my company, in the WWF, WWE, we actually we actually light the back area when we know we're going back there, so you can actually see what's going on a little bit. You ever think of that, Tony?
We go ahead and we bring our box lights with us and don't rely on natural lighting and terrible mic audio.
Oh my God!
Sometimes the mic audio I think is better in the vlogs that they create on YouTube.
Yes,
than it is on Dynamite. But I don't understand how that's possible.
You know why it stands out to me is because, and listen, I get it because I like Tony a lot, and I think fuck with WWE all you can. Fuck them, they deserve it, they really do. But when you fuck with somebody just the other day and say, like, oh, do you know what carpets are, and do you know how to keep it, the rain out of there? Let me tell you how to keep this once ever that never has happened before thing from happening. But then here's this backstage brawl that we've seen a million times, and they don't know that they need some lighting back there.
Exactly. I mean, there's been rain delays, but nothing major like this since the 80s.
Right.
Honestly, and it's... This was unprecedented. They didn't know what to do, and the whole night was a mess. And I thought they pulled it off well for the start of WrestleMania. The interviews were really good that they did have. Kevin Owens was fantastic on the mic.
Did you hear Jim Cornette? Did you hear Jim Cornette break that down?
No, not yet.
It's phenomenal. I'm
waiting to listen to it
because he was roasting the guys who clearly don't know what they're doing. And then the funniest one was, I thought of this too, and so didn't you, but we sort of didn't care because we just wanted to get to WrestleMania. But it was interesting today while I was, I listen to a lot more podcasts recently because I have time to do that while I'm driving. But it's like he brought up how weird Seth Rollins was, but we're going to get into that later. I think me and Jake,
yeah, because Rollins has been very weird with his character
weird
in general.
I just don't want to turn this into WWF.
Well, Rollins is another one that's just like the Young Bucks, and that connects it back to AEW. I can't get into this storyline right now. I'm trying. I'm not just being a negative Nelly. I was okay with the Young Bucks being the good guys, doing some heel things every now and again, but like doing what's right for the company, what's right for them. Like, don't they see this is bad for AEW, bringing an Impact eventually? Like, don't they see that, really the invisible hand is going to go against them? Like, you figure they would be smarter, and them turning heel, they've done it so many times, it doesn't feel genuine. You go from their father being brutalized and bleeding and being taken away by ambulance, and then they have this big breakdown, and now they're heels. It's like, I don't buy it. It doesn't work. The promo they cut sounds silly with the things that they said specifically that the Young Bucks mentioned. I mean, Kenny Omega's okay, but my problem with that whole group as well is you have the Good Brothers with you, but you're talking about the Young Bucks being the best tag team in the world. The Young Bucks are the best ever. They're the best in any company. So then what are the Good Brothers? Dirt shit?
Right.
Why are they in the group then? They're not the Impact Tag Champs
because
anymore.
they're not
so
very
you can't
good.
even say that.
They're not very good is the answer.
But wouldn't they be pissed at constantly, being told that, oh, the Young Bucks are the best, the Young Bucks are the best, I thought they were building to the Good Brothers versus Young Bucks, not that. I mean, that's what they said. If we could have any match, that's the match we wanted, and they were bad as faces. They're not good as heels either. I would prefer them as heels.
But aren't they going to go back? Aren't they going to go back to Impact soon? Like, can't they not? Aren't they going to not be here forever?
I have no idea. I mean,
so let's theorize this real quick. Let's say they really do got to go back to Impact, and they don't have too much time in AEW.
But wouldn't Don Callis have to go back as well? So
no, Don is not there anymore.
That's what I'm saying. So I thought he was still signed.
No. From what I understand, Don is actually, I don't believe, is really part of Impact anymore. And
I thought he was signed with them, but not as a talent, like not on air.
He may be.
Talent.
All right, so I don't know the answer to this. I just know that the couple of rumor things that I know that I believed, but there's a couple different versions. There's the one where that he's consulting with them or something, and then there's the other one that he.
Yeah, that's what I've heard several times.
But I don't think he's really there anymore, like as a fully signed.
You see, I've heard that he's signed as like a consultant with Impact. That's how he can do the both shows thing. Be there.
Yeah, but I mean, Kenny's not signed as a consultant,
but he's not
over there.
a full paid on-air talent. So.
Well, my point is that he doesn't really have like a full-time contract over there anymore. I don't know this.
Yeah, so
I'm
he
just
can
saying.
go, but I know the Good Brothers are still signed to Impact for a bit.
Yes, so because they are, I'm assuming that Impact is going to want them to finish out over there. So maybe they think there's a gap there, and the Young Bucks
and they just
fill
don't draw. So I don't know. Kite Lime just said in the chat, why do they keep getting these opportunities? Because they don't draw, but.
Yeah, they don't really. The name draws of Bullet Club when they're all together, I guess. But that's
Bullet
about
Club
it.
was not even that over as a wrestling thing itself, though. That's what people forget.
Yeah, 700,000.
Bullet Club got popular because no one knew what it was. It sold out at Hot Topic, and I liked the Bullet Club. I loved it when Finn Balor, Prince Fergal Devitt started it. People forget that. That's how all that came with his heel turn, and it was a totally different thing than what it became as the Hot Topic scene came into.
But you also got to remember that believe it or not, when Bullet Club started and was hot, they actually got some feature on not only New Japan, but they also did it in Impact Wrestling when Impact still had 700,000 viewers. So
and Ring of Honor. No, I'm not saying it wasn't.
I know exactly what you're saying.
But it was never this NWO level like people like to make it sound.
Well, it was the Indies NWO. Let's put it that way.
It was. That's a beautiful way to put it. Perfect.
But it was one of the. But it's not just that. It's like it's bigger than the Indies though. But it's not. It's an I call it. It's an underground. It
never transcended. Like the merch sold well, but that's because people like the simple iconography of it. The Bullet Club.
It's Korn 1996 or 1995. It's 1995 Korn. Like they had a huge underground following that was really big. But like then when
it was
Korn,
that like everybody had a few shirts growing up in high school that even if people didn't watch wrestling, a lot of people had the 316 shirt, or they had that Slipknot barcode shirt, or they had, there was things that people had. They had the Korn issue shirt with the doll.
But see, they were mainstream then, though. I mean, but that's
but that's what I'm saying. But they never listened to it.
Yeah, no.
It was just cool to own the merchandise.
The Bullet Club shirt somewhat
was the same way. People didn't watch wrestling. It was just cool.
I take it more like a metal band who's big, right? Think of a big metal band, think of Opeth, right, or Opeth, or however you pronounce their name, or Shadows Fall, or somebody like that, who's a metal band. If they go to
Chimera,
to a theater, they're going to sell out some theater arena place. Like if there's
they'll sell at the Oak Deal, but they're going to have a hard time selling the Civic Center.
Right, and if you walk up to anyone on the street and you go, hey, do you know who Shadows Fall is, or something like that, they'd be like, what?
They don't know Trivium. They don't know. Yeah, exactly.
But if you walk up to the right people, they'll be like, fuck yeah, look at my fucking... And you're like, oh, look, exactly. I found one.
But the thing is, as where everyone knows of Metallica, but they know it's for music, all those people that had the Bullet Club merch, I bet you didn't even know it was related to wrestling.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think a
most
lot of
people know.
Even
I think
really correlated it to wrestling at
you
that
really
point.
think that. I think almost.
I really don't think it was as major as I know it was a big deal. I'm not saying it's not. It was genuinely a huge deal in the wrestling community, but I think if you ask people with no genuine knowledge of it, what is Bullet Club? I don't think they're going to have.
No,
any idea
I
that
agree
has
with
anything to do.
regular people, but if I walk up to somebody with a Bullet Club shirt, I like.
Oh, I have though. I've seen it.
Really?
I've talked with people, and I'm like, oh yeah, did you watch whatever? They're like, oh no, I don't watch wrestling. I just like the shirt.
Oh,
I've
man, I
seen
can't believe that.
more
Really?
times than not. So
That's shocking to me. I would see when I see someone with a Bullet Club, I think, wow, that person. It's like if I see someone with a Star Trek shirt, I'm like, oh shit, you love Star Trek. I'm gonna talk to you. It's the
so
same
I would
thing.
think, but I've seen tons of Bullet Club stuff, and people have no interest in wrestling. It was just
Wow.
popular with Hot
Well, I can
Topic
see it
and
like
that scene.
it's sort of like the what's the symbol that Triple H wears? That big, like weird looking symbol, like the biker
The
symbol.
cross thing.
Yeah, like a lot of people
It-
people see it like that sort of thing. Like, oh, I've seen that around. That's cool. It looks like a cool T-shirt, bullets on it.
Yeah, because
you
he's
know?
got the Latin with it and all the Latin words.
Yeah, some goth guy goes into Hot Topic. He's like, yo, I'm thinking of shooting somebody up. I'm gonna get that T-shirt. It looks good to me. I mean, I should talk. I wore fishnets in high school and Marilyn Manson T-shirts. Oh, let's play a donation.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You become a shit bomb.
Oh shit! Scam Tunes. What up, Scam? Thanks for the $2 super chat party. How you doing, man? Appreciate it. Hey, you
And
guys.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but what I'm saying is like
No,
it's just,
I'm not saying
I know
anyone's
of a good
wrong.
portion that just have no friggin' clue.
No,
and
I'm
that's
just
the sad
shocked
part.
hearing this. That's all. I'm not saying right
Yeah.
or wrong. I'm like, wow, like I'm shocked.
So when you hear Bullet Club and everything, like it's just I wish I can get into it more, but I don't buy the Young Bucks acting like heels. And then everything that they were saying, like, oh, we're the best ever, and the Good Brothers just kind of stand there and take it. Matt Jackson's saying that if anyone wants a shot, there's a BTA trigger with your name on it. Well, I thought the Good Brothers wanted a shot at the titles. Like, wasn't that why they were in the Eliminator tournament? And I don't know. It's just it didn't really make sense, and it was a crappy promo.
They've gone so back and forth now that it's gonna take a. You know what this is like, Jake? The Young Bucks are like if you grabbed a bucket of water and you put the Young Bucks little floaty guys inside the water, then you shook the bucket back and forth, then you put it down. It's going to continue shaking back and forth for a little while. It's going to take a while for the water to settle where I'm going to actually know how I feel about the Young Bucks. They're going to need to do a lot more being heel and being a good heel because their first heel run was bad, and then they went good again. Then they flirted with bad, stayed good. Now they went bad. So this is
exactly, and it's been
Jesus.
so often that it just always feels so disingenuous. And I don't know why they turned heel at this point. It didn't really make sense. Like, oh, because Moxley was attacking Kenny. Well, Kenny tried to blow him up and kill him and all this. Like,
Right.
The story just, I guess on BTE they explain stuff better, but I didn't see it yet. Sorry, I didn't have time to watch your other programming, but you should explain it a little bit better on your actual TV show.
Yeah, not very good. I think the best. You think the best thing tonight was that main event, that Darby Allin stuff at the end, because that's what I think.
I liked the finish, but I was so upset that it was Falls Count Anywhere. I was like, here we go, Matt Hardy, Darby Allin, going to be a good, solid wrestling match. They got to throw in the fuckery so everyone can come in and chairs and bullshit. And I'm so tired of the hardcore stuff. It's just gimmicks, and I wanted to see a real match between these two. Instead, we got to worry about Sting and Private Party, and Sting can't really take bumps, so they got to make people look silly with him.
Well, I think Matt Hardy was worried about how he was going to perform in a solo match, and that's part of it too. Is get all these guys out here for a clusterfuck because I'm going to blow up after 7 minutes.
So then,
Which I
don't
don't
have
mind.
a match or make it quick.
I
And that's sadly
that's
at
the
that
thing is
point.
we've seen other really big main events start at 9:50, and we go, well, what the hell? There's no time left. Yet they start this at like 9:42.
Yeah, exactly. So go figure. This one should have been much shorter. But they always have to do that thing where they have to add more. And okay, fine.
I did like the Young Bucks' new look, though. I thought that was kind of nice to see a new. I think. I by the way, I want to give them
their
credit.
new look isn't bad. I'm glad if you're going to go heel, at least change things up.
That's
about
what I want to
yourself.
give them
I
credit for.
appreciate
I want to
that.
give them a little credit because we bash them a bunch, but I give them credit because I think they see like, let's not just say we're heel now and still look the same. We got to do something to show you also. And they tried. and not just their heel guy antics. They needed to visually change something up. And so I like that they recognize that, because that's important, I think, to be honest. Now it's just going to be important for them to, really be heel instead of just super kicking announcers in the back like they were like the dumbest stuff. Like, that doesn't get heel heat. It just looks goofy. And then it makes the announcers look terrible. Like, we don't talk a lot about that, but you actually make your whole staff and announcing staff look really stupid. Like, really bad. Like, you can make them look stupid on the mic, like, hey, you goofy idiot, but, just to super kick these people randomly, it's not getting you heat.
And to have Don Callis in that interview super kick someone,
I don't know about that either.
That was ridiculous.
That was weird.
He super kicked the cameraman, and I was like, "Are you friggin' kidding me?"
I laughed, but I was like, that's something that should have been on BTE, maybe not on Dynamite.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, not on your actual.
I like Don Callis,
and that was such a bad promo too. Like, especially what Matt said, it was just it wasn't good. And what I was saying too about the Darby Allin stuff is that, besides the ending to it, everything
Darby
else
was
I really
great.
didn't care for.
If they didn't have Darby, I don't know.
Well.
I don't know what they would do if they didn't have Darby. Darby's a big factor.
He saved the night for them, absolutely. And I like the Dark Order, but they're so lost at this point. They don't know what to do with them since Brody passed away. They had to turn them face because of the reaction, and they have so many charismatic and talented people there, but they're just featuring them on the undershows, not anything really except to be on the ringside area for Dynamite.
Yeah, I wonder if they're afraid now almost to break up Dark Order or to get rid of that, because they're just
any. And then on top of it, it's like they always have to add more and more and more. So we already have the Dark Order out there. We've got Matt Hardy. We've got Private Party. So let's get SCU and Ethan Page for some friggin' reason out there. And then Lance Archer's out there too, because he's got issues with Sting. And it's like the hat and a hat thing that Cornette said. That's true. It's constant. Why do they have to have so much heat and so much? Just have the TNT title match. All of that added stuff took away from the match, and then they're like, it's like, oh my God, now we got to see, Lance Archer's here, and then Sting and Lance Archer, and look at that, now we don't know what's going to happen because Private Party are here, and coffin drop from the sky, and it's like, oh my God,
I don't
feel
mind
like I have fucking ADD.
I almost wonder if it would have been better, it would have been nice for Sting to show up in the crowd and throw the bat to Darby at one point for him to use it. And that's it. That's it.
That's a handoff.
You get Sting on TV, does this weapon handoff.
They did the Chekhov's bat, thing. Anyways, at least they finally did end up using it, because he went to use it when he finally got it from Sting, 10 minutes into the match, 12 minutes in.
Oh, yeah. This
and
is
then
much.
Matt Hardy low blows him.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh God, no! You just let him use the bat so we can get out of this. It was that ADHD.
Make no mistake about it. It's better than Raw. People, don't worry. This is still
it is
a lot better than Raw.
I'm not saying that, but they have good, talented people here. This was subpar, and it didn't need to be. I'm upset because I'm passionate, because I really like this brand, this show. They have really talented wrestlers. This is just not the great way to book everybody and everything. Why did we need to throw all of that out there? That was a wild brawl, but every week it ends and starts with a wild brawl. Why?
Yeah, it's always a brawler. Well, when you get this many factions, you run into this problem.
I guess so, and that's my problem.
Because if one guy attacks somebody, the rest of them are there. So it's like, this is the problem. If you have this many factions, it's going to be a goddamn brawl every week. This is very throwback of the sort of the stuff that you saw back in Memphis a long time ago, and not Mid-Atlantic, but what's the other one? I can't remember now. But they did a little bit of this sort of warfare stuff.
But even that Miro package was stupid. They made him look like an idiot because now he's gonna Kip. Whether if you
I gotta
show
tell you
up,
something
fine.
about that.
If you don't, and you disappear, then I won't come for you.
Oh my God.
But this
is what I love about AEW. One week
show up.
1 week AEW is like, you're like, that was the shit, and then another week you're like, what was that?
I know they can do it. So here's the thing: Jade is great. She has got a great look, but she needs better ring work. The Young Bucks opening the tag match itself was good. It was entertaining, but them working his heels is
I actually
a little bit
hated it. I can't believe you didn't hate it. Like that, you always hate the Young Bucks. You didn't hate this. This was fucking Cirque du Soleil.
I didn't love it, but there was a few spots that I really got into with Pac.
I did too, but they were all Cirque du Soleil.
Well, here's the thing. This is what I was going to get into. Pac is the only one in this match that really excited me quite a few times.
I think he's boring.
Really? See, I thought the way
I think he's
he
boring.
did the Blue Thunder Bomb, and he wasn't all like flippy dippy as much as everybody else. That it kind of made me enjoy him more.
See, in my opinion, Pac wrestles the same as them, but they do crazier stuff. So therefore, I find him less interesting. Like the Young Bucks and Pac, they all sort of do the same stuff. The only difference is the Young Bucks do a little bit more crash and burn stuff. And because of that, I'm like, well, I find them more exciting. So,
but here's the one thing.
There's a lot of like, let me hold you while you bounce off rope. Now hold me, I'll bounce off rope.
Yeah,
like,
that's the stuff
doing?
I don't like, and this is what I'm getting to. Here's the no selling. They hit a dual poison Rana onto Phoenix and Pac, and then Phoenix is like, oh, that did nothing, and then he does a cutter to Nick. It's like, how? Why? You just suffer. Sell a little bit. So there were some points that I did enjoy in this match. I didn't hate it entirely, but certainly, like I always say, this style's not for me. I don't like the Cirque du Soleil craziness. But why did it have to be so long?
I don't. Yeah, it was very. Was it 30
minutes? The match
minutes?
itself was almost 24 minutes long.
Yeah, it felt long.
Here was the problem tonight. Cody, the absence, that star power wasn't there. I know Tyson.
They
was
pulled the
supposed to be a big
WWE,
draw.
Jake, real quick. They pulled the WWE 27-minute open.
Yes, they did. No. I mean, that's way too long.
I mean, let's be honest though. It is more exciting usually than the WWE match, but still.
Usually, but this was not it, and especially because the Young Bucks, I don't believe them as heels at this point in time, so it was very impossible to just get into. There could be so much more, and we know the tag division has a lot to offer. So
why weren't they doing something heelish? I mean, here's the point, because they did do something heelish. So I just want to say this: they did. I don't have the examples written down, and I wish I took notes on the match. I didn't take notes on the match. That's my fault. I thought I would remember this stuff, but I don't. But if you go back and watch the match, and I don't know 100%, but I believe.
Well, Nick hits him with a low blow towards the end when Pac was legal.
Well, there's like seven.
Then they
things.
steal Ray's mask.
And
he's covering his face. That's the evil heel.
That's the main event of it. But they do about 6, 7, 8 things in the match. That's like, ooh, that's a super heel thing. That's a super heel thing. Here's another heel thing. And like you just said,
when they pushed him off the top rope was one. When he went for one of the moves, the fans booed.
But it all led to that mask being pulled off. So they were,
like you said, there was a few other moments too.
I'm trying to back it up and try to like basically go against myself and say, all right, they really did though.
They pulled Phoenix, like Nick went ahead and he like ripped him off the apron at one point too, so he couldn't get tagged in. So they kept Pac in the ring, and every time Pac would try and like tag out, they would take out and keep him from getting to Phoenix. So that was pretty heelish too.
They should have busted him open. That would have been the last thing to do, is really just bust him open. I don't know.
They should have ended this in 8 minutes. That's what they should have done.
And yeah, I mean, because really, once again, Jake,
they just didn't have anything to. There was no substance tonight.
You don't need to have.
So they added so much filler.
You don't need to have a pay-per-view match to put over the Young Bucks are heel. Like your job should be putting over that the Young Bucks are heel. If the heels are having a 27-minute fucking crazy match, that's not what you want to do. These guys are supposed to now be heel. You know what I thought they were going to do, Jake, when I heard how they were talking in the promo? I thought they were going to come out and have a whole different style of wrestling.
I thought so too. I thought they were going to be like real dicks, and then they were going to get disqualified. Because you don't see matches end in DQ on Dynamite ever. And I thought, oh, wow, we're going to get our first real DQ ending. They're going to go ahead and they're going to hit them with chairs, and, that's their title defense. You got your shot. Like, they're going to be real smug assholes. No, they got to be taken to their limit, like every time.
Every time,
oh, my God. Oh, they almost got it, but we got the double super kick to get the win because I stole your mask.
Why not?
And in Mexico, that would be a disqualification. But you're not in Mexico.
Why not? So why not, Jake? Why not take the mask off?
It's not illegal here.
Why not rip the mask off his? Well, but it's still a big insult.
It is an insult, no doubt.
Why not rip the mask off his face? I mean, dude, it hurt me watching it. I got scared. I don't know why, but
I know I get insulted too when you see it.
I get like, oh my God, no, fucking Phoenix, get your mask back on. Like I feel that way, and I'm an American. But no, when they rip the mask off, so 8 minutes into the match, you rip the mask off. And then the referee's like, come on, like, what the hell? Like, the referee's marking out, flipping out, and Ray's covering up, and the referee's like, give it to me so I can give it back to him. The referee, give it to me. Oh, you want it, referee? And then he throws it to the corner. Referee has to go get it. While the referee goes and gets it, low blow, double team. Referee comes back with the mask, goes to give it to Phoenix, but he's out and he's covering him. So referee, 1, 2, 3, boom. There's your heel heat. There's the point. They're bad. New clothes. They took a mask, kicked in the balls. 8 minutes. You didn't see flippy floppy Young Bucks, but instead you saw the brand new Young Bucks. But they're not brand new because they do a 27-minute to the limit
because they
Cirque du
did
Soleil
everything
match,
that they normally do as faces, just with a little bit of an attitude, and that's the thing.
which they already did anyway. Which they've already done anyway a month ago.
Exactly, they really have. And sadly, the problem is that when by the time, like you said, you get through all this, you're exhausted because you've seen so much. It's just not a great showing always for them to have to go ahead and be taken to the limit to defend their titles. One, it should have been an 8-minute match. My idea was a bit different than yours. I think yours sounds a bit better, honestly. What I thought was they take the mask off, and then the ref goes ahead, listens to his earpiece, listens, and then goes ahead and rings the bell. And then he says, oh, it's disqualification. It was announced from the back. We did disqualify you for stealing the mask. That is part of our AEW rule set. And they argue, those shouldn't have been the rules. You actually want to disqualify for us? I'll give you a reason to disqualify us. That's when the chairs come into play, and that's when they bloody Phoenix. His mask was already off. If you bloody the back of his head, if that was pre-gimmick, that would have been beautiful. If they hit him in the back of the head, and then the back of his head is bleeding, so the front of his face isn't on TV, but just the back of his head, and he's pouring blood because they hit him with the chair. Christ, that would have been like, oh, that was too far.
Yeah, I mean, I would go for that too over what they did, because just what they did just doesn't make sense. Like, so either one of our ideas is better than that, because
I just don't feel like and plus I would have built this match up, especially if you're going to have them do it, this long of a pay-per-view style match. Build it up. What was the rivalry here? What was there really hasn't been anything much to this. It's kind of just a dead heat, and we get into it. It's like, okay. Apparently there was an AEW house show called, where the Elite lost as well, and I didn't know about that on a Friday, but that was news to me.
Wait, what? The house show what?
They had a house show called, it was an AEW house show on a Friday that they kept referring to, that's where the Elite, they lost that 10-man tag match to the Death Triangle and Matt Sydal and his brother.
I had heard something, but I didn't pay any attention because I've been so busy, to be honest. So, wow, I did not know
so
that.
They were talking about it before the tag match happened.
Because they wanted some WrestleMania rub is kind of what that was?
I guess they did something for fans in Jacksonville.
No, yeah. I mean, listen, we love AEW, guys. I mean, some people are like, oh, AEW's dead.
Cool.
Don't worry. AEW's not dead. It was more of a...
It seemed more like a filler night, and they have a few weeks, so they have to get to the pay-per-view.
AEW's
Jade
fine.
Cargill looked good. Red Velvet looked even better at certain points, but unfortunately felt like the crowd was a bit dead for that at other times. So
Neo the One says it was mentioned last week. We just missed it, probably.
Well, last week I watched only in recaps and pieces.
Yeah, we missed a lot.
Stand and Deliver.
Without NXT as comp may start to get lazy with the shows. NXT had a better show this week. Speaking of, did I miss your review last night, or you didn't do when I wanted to hear your thoughts?
I know, Harry
NXT
Steve.
7/10.
So Harry
6/10.
Wow, so 7 out of 10 from Harry Steve. I think I agree with you. I only saw 60% of NXT last night, but it was really good.
I thought it was great.
Kushida was great.
Ready to go. You know what I will say? They had a well-deserved women's moment. I love that. Rhea Ripley coming out when Raquel Gonzalez is in the ring, because she's the one that, not retired, but essentially retired Rhea from NXT. She forced her to the main roster. That was the stipulation. So Raquel Gonzalez in that cage match was the one that sent Rhea packing. All right, all well and good. So they have this bad blood and this history, and she comes out there with the title, and I'm like, are we going to get a title for title match? Are they going to have another rivalry? This is awesome. And then they embrace, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool, showing respect. It made Raquel look like $1 million. And then Bianca Belair comes out, and you see the photo of them backstage, a few years back together. It's kind of like their own 4 horsewomen thing. They were together always. So this is your current NXT class, now all women's champions. That was a really touching genuine good feeling moment, that they earned that. That was a well thought out, well delivered moment. It wasn't a shove down your throat women's revolution thing that they typically do. So that was a really nice, touching thing. Kushida's match was crazy. I'm surprised that he won the Cruiserweight Championship. Shotzi Blackheart continues to almost kill herself every time. The stuff with Dexter Lumis, I'm not crazy about. I don't know how you feel, but him taking indie wrestling Hartwell out of there at the end, I know she wants to get with him. That really didn't do much for me.
I want to see what they did in the back. I want to see if he pounded her in the back. That's what I want to know.
That's the goal, so we'll see. I mean, she wants to get some. She's in love with Dexter Lumis, so I guess there's something with that. Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher said that they're going for titles and that, they're going to be a team now going forward. Scott and Ruff damn near killed each other last night, literally. That was insane. Holy hell, what a match.
Oh yeah, that was, and then they went at it in the back after. I'm like, dude, they didn't fight enough in the ring. Now they're gonna fight
exactly.
in the back.
Now they're attacking. Like, he's like, I'm not done with you. It's like, holy hell.
Jesus.
Then you hear Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly yelling at each other on the stretchers. How there's, Adam Cole's saying he's gonna kill Kyle O'Reilly.
yeah.
That was great from the footage. Karrion Kross's entrance, and the fact that Scarlett doesn't have to speak for Karrion. She speaks at times, but she's not needed to. I really liked his promo. I thought it was well delivered. There's no surprise to it. He's just saying, I'm the damn champion, and all of you that step up to me are going to fall. Tick-tock, time's up.
Yeah.
He looks like a badass. His entrance is amazing, and I don't know why the CWC was booing MSK.
They were doing some weird stuff last night. It was actually like a Raw after WrestleMania where they flipped on all the faces and heels.
Yeah, they were very heel-centric, but that was probably the only thing I'm not crazy about because I really don't care for Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. Like, I was more into them a bit of a while ago, but now it's not doing that much for me. But the Imperium beatdown and everything is interesting. So we'll see what
one of
happens with that.
last night. I would say if you didn't see NXT, I would say, that was probably one of the best episodes of NXT all year. So one of the best, top 10, whatever.
That was my full 3-minute synopsis there, and I would give it like an 8 out of 10. Absolutely.
Yeah, probably watch that, guys. I only saw 65% or so, and I just got to go back and watch the rest of it. And I liked what I saw. I liked everything I saw. I didn't think it was like the most amazing thing ever, but it was a solid show. Probably more solid than tonight's AEW, which is a rare time that I give NXT a better thumbs up over AEW for once.
Yeah, it is a rare earned victory, but they did well. They won last week in their final battle on Wednesday night with TakeOver. Not by a great deal, but they did draw in over 1 million. The thing is that you had to count Peacock and network television, so they did do over 1 million total viewers.
Really?
So that's pretty cool for NXT. It was the most viewed TakeOver ever in history. They had 700 and something thousand watching on USA Network.
It's really going to come down to what does this get for a rating last night?
I wonder what it got on Thursday on Peacock is my question, because they got over 300,000 viewers on Wednesday and there was 700,000 on USA. So I wonder what they got on Thursday for Peacock. But everybody was joking how AEW lost to Miz and Mrs., the reality show and stuff like that. But the good thing with NXT is last night they drew 805,000 viewers, but not even just having their highest show of the year in that sense, or second highest. This is the highest demo and ranking that they've had since September 2019, since before AEW began.
Well,
so this really shows that them being on a Tuesday makes a difference.
Oh yeah, but give me the ratings the next couple of weeks. I want to see what. Yeah,
we'll see how they stack up and what happens
when it's not WrestleMania week.
Shit bomb!
Ooh,
you become
Soundwave dropping $20, baby.
Without that main event, it would have been a pretty mediocre night. Darby with that final coffin drop on the announcer's table was insane. 7.5. Biggest criticism was Jericho dragging Dax to ropes so Cash could interfere.
Yeah, that was actually a little weird. I didn't even think about that, Soundwave. That's a good point.
Yeah, well, they did a few things like that. We didn't really talk about that yet, and that was one of the things we're going to get into next. But thank you, Soundwave.
Thank you, Soundwave, for the $20, man. That you're the top dog. I'll get you on the screen in a minute. Soundwave 92 funding the show. Thank you.
the one shocking thing of them all, I think, is that Roderick Strong quit. He quit NXT. He went in with, his real life wife, and Marina Shafir was with him, and he handed his papers over to William Regal, and he quit.
Was it real?
No, he's still signed with WWE, so I think he's going to the main roster, but
yeah, because
we'll see what happens here. Luke Rojas has a great idea that maybe he can get into for out of nowhere, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see what they're going to do with him. But they treated it like a real goodbye. So.
I really want to quickly just plug something really quickly. This will just take a second. It's nothing. It's actually really quickly. Me and Jake, we're going to be doing a podcast this week. So what do you guys want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the upcoming Mortal Kombat movie? Do you want to talk about the video game stuff that's going on? Whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about it all. Just make sure you get it to us on Patreon. I'm going to put up the questions soon, or just leave it below this tweet. We're going to talk about it on our podcast on Patreon. Thanks to Snyder Baby 7 just became a $10 patron, and everybody else who's been signing up on Patreon. Guys, speaking of Patreon, there's the tweet. Go put some stuff below it or talk to us on Patreon, whatever you want to do. We have 285 patrons. We're getting back to 300. Also, Morning Madness is up right now. I talk about where I've been doing the last couple weeks, what happened with my dogs, and what I've been doing, and whatever else. It starts out a little bit slow because I'm very tired getting home and whatever, and then I start drinking Red Bull and I start perking up halfway through. But there's a lot of little things in there. Plus, I answered the questions you guys had for me. It's all there, Patreon. Morning Madness, although it's actually tonight, so it's nighttime madness, I guess. I don't know. Just wanted to plug that real quick. That's on the Patreon right now. So when you're done here after this, you can go listen if you're a patron. 280-something of you are, and I made it available for everybody. In the future, it's $5 or more, just so everybody knows if you didn't know. Okay, now I plugged that. Now back to AEW. Well, let's go to one more donation, then we'll go back to AEW. Oh, shit!
The Soundwave 92.222.
The Bucks of Suck looked stupid in those white outfits and Dior ones. But what bothered me the most was Mike Tyson wearing those boat loafers, and Butcher with 9-inch nails shirt was funny as hell. Smiley face.
Dude, I died. I was like, wait a minute. The Butcher looks miserable, and is he wearing a 9-inch nail shirt? And I don't know why.
That was hilarious.
I tweeted this out, Jake. You know what I'm talking about. Some of you don't, though. If you don't follow my Twitter, you didn't see this. Look what I tweeted out. I seen him. He looked miserable, and he's sitting there.
He was just having a total crisis of just massive epiphany. Where did I go wrong? He's like, I was playing, and every time I die, and now I want to die.
Oh my God, bro.
Whatever.
Start again. A million miles away. I would keep myself. I would find a way. Oh yeah, 9-inch nails.
So miserable though. It was hilarious.
He made Trent Reznor proud though, because I think he looks just miserable enough. Perfect Trent Reznor look right there.
Just enough to get it to sell. Absolutely.
Just enough to make 9-inch Nails have a hit song on the radio again, and just enough to make Johnny Cash pass away again. Thank you for that, Butcher. Fucking. Oh my God!
Really
dude.
quick, I know we didn't get to talk last night, so I'm going to do a 60-second wrestling roundup that's all together stuff that I wanted you to hear. But Vince McMahon and Stone Cold really don't have a good relationship. Austin was talking about how that Vince won't even pick up his phone calls anymore, and he's lucky to get 3 words in response from a text. Vince actually wanted him to come back several times, and Austin felt like, it took me 3 years to get over having to leave the business. Why would I ever come back? What for?
Well, I think that's why I think Vince is actually bitter to him because of that. That's my guess. Is that Vince is like, whatever, I think Vince feels like he was abandoned by Austin. I'm serious.
I absolutely believe that, because think about it. He's gotten his way with everybody except for Stone Cold. He even got the Warrior back. He's gotten Bret Hart. You name it, anybody that he, look at how long the Undertaker.
Stone Cold is JB, and I'm Vince McMahon.
That's basically what happened. So
yeah,
giving you the runaround, but
Well,
WrestleMania,
no.
they did do well. They earned $10 million just from the ticket sales, and it was a good boost for the economy for the area, so that's always a plus, obviously. That's helpful. The Bella Twins were not supposed to attack Bayley on night 2. It was supposed to be Ding Dong Hello, Becky Lynch. But they said that they're going to save Becky Lynch's premiere return, re-debut for another point in time when it would be more special. Why not do it when there's live people?
No, I know
in
what they're
attendance?
saying, because if they build this up more, problem is everybody knows now. But if they build this
exactly,
up more,
that's the thing. They kind of wasted it. They blew their load by having it said. So,
well, remember
hopefully
the
they
thing.
can plan something and make it a really surprise, epic return, or
Do you
at least have
remember-
a story worthwhile. But
Do you remember they did this recently with someone else? They had the person kept coming out and annoying everybody. And I know what it was. I think it was Elias. He was doing this thing where he was pissing everybody off, and eventually, remember we all said like the Undertaker should attack him, and then he did.
yes,
That's what
yes.
this reminds me of. Like Bayley's gonna be annoying everybody. She's gonna do her ding dong thing in the ring, and that's when Becky will come out, and then Becky will come in and do. It'll be very predictable, probably.
And apparently we won't have live fans again until likely SummerSlam, but then they want to go back on the road full time. They said once they go, this was a one-off just for Mania because they wanted to have it with fans, but Nick Khan, WWE Nick Khan, that Khan, went ahead and said that you're kind of getting used to the Thunderdome till SummerSlam. So that's not great. They actually changed the plans
That's 5
for
months
the
away.
WrestleMania matches minutes before the night to actually go ahead and have Bray Wyatt lose. He was supposed to win. So
I also saw reports that was all fake too. So who's saying that? Because I just don't believe these things.
That was coming from Fightful, as well as Fightful was saying that Matt Riddle was originally supposed to retain his U.S. title, but WWE last second decided to switch it in favor of Sheamus continuing the feud. So this way they can get more out of it, and they can have Matt Riddle continue to fight Sheamus down the line. And
yeah, we're gonna touch
whatever.
on we'll talk about the Evil East thing in a minute.
Yep, that's actually one of my last points. Logan Paul said that he was turned on by Alexa Bliss's entrance at WrestleMania.
He was turned on?
Yes, he actually that's a
maybe he'll
clip,
molest her like his brother allegedly is doing.
So he said that was kind of I'm kind of turned on. That was the quote, and while she's coming out, but she looks like an 8-year-old child possessed by the devil at that point. So I don't know if that's a great look for him.
I don't think you need to say 8-year-old.
Finn Balor's not going to the main roster after his NXT title loss. He's staying in NXT, so that's good to hear. And Evil East apparently is a really difficult person to work with.
No shit.
History repeats itself, she said. I speak up about mistreatment and I get let go. That's life. So once again, you're the only one complaining about an entire roster's division, saying that there's all these problems and there's so many issues. And people investigated all her claims the first time. They took it serious this time. I guess there was internal investigations within AEW. They're not having it. She's gone.
Maybe
and
it could be this. Maybe it could be
haven't
this.
let anyone go.
Maybe it could be this. You ever think this could be your problem right here?
Yeah. Because I know you had a bad day. I know people have bad days. Apparently, wasn't that when she was dealing with the house fire or something? Like, that's horrific. We get that. But to be that unprofessional and then go ahead and...
Wait, she was dealing with a house fire?
I believe that's when her home burned down.
Oh, my God. Did her home really burn down?
I believe that was it. Someone in the chat can correct me, but...
Well, I'll tell you what. If your home burned down, you'd be working extra better because you'd be like, I better keep this job because I need a new home.
That would be my thought. I'd be like, God, I don't need to lose this.
But that is terrible for home down. I feel bad for her. But what is
I
this?
believe that was the case. I know someone in the chat will correct me if that's not it. But I remember she was having a lot of personal issues at that point. So she's like, I'm sorry for my attitude. But the whole thing was just a bad issue in the back. And you want to know why? She's always had an attitude problem. It seems allegedly. She's always allegedly been very unprofessional and difficult to work with, sadly. So.
Yeah, she's really two different people.
Future endeavors.
She's like two different people, man. Like there's the one side of her that's really cool and good, and then there's this other side to her that's just what is going on. I'm worried about her mentally though, because this is like a last resort type of thing. This is like not getting hired at AEW is like,
yeah.
I mean, with the pandemic and everything else, I mean you're going to be coloring hair in a hair salon or something like
Well,
that.
that's what I'm saying, because there's nowhere else to go at this point if you have this reputation after you've been through everywhere else.
Maybe Impact.
You know?
Maybe Impact. I mean, I don't
Impact's not going to take her with the girls that are there. Impact actually has a really solid women's division right now. They are not going to deal with that. Oh, I forgot. Frankie Monet debuted last night in NXT as well. I don't know about her new Frankie character, Taya Valkyrie. I've never been a big fan of hers. I also didn't watch a lot of her.
I always felt the thing about Taya is, and I know that she's friends with our friend Famous B, so I'm always careful here. But by the way, Famous B did reach out to me. He had fun in Tampa. He was in WrestleMania.
Awesome! Yeah,
shout out to Famous
said he
B.
was, last I spoke to him, he said he was going down there, but I didn't speak to him since.
I've always felt that Taya Valkyrie's been a little bit awkward and soft in the ring, like a little too soft at times. Like there are times where she's good, and then there's times where I just feel like she operates like soft.
I think she works well when she works with the right opponents, but they need to draw something out of her. And I think NXT might be able to do that with so it's interesting the way she came out and the whole challenge, and we'll see what happens. Her having the little foo-foo dog, she kind of reminds me, terrible of a reference this is, I'm going to sound like a nerd here, but her new character reminds me of like Sharpay from the Disney musical, the High School Musical.
I missed it. I missed her. I didn't see it.
Yeah, so maybe some of the chat will get the reference. But
I'll have to watch it though. But no, you told me
Danielle used to be obsessed with those shows or movies, whatever, and that's what she reminds me of, like this rich bitch, Paris Hilton kind of. I'm better than you. She came out. She had her little dog with her that runs into the ring. It was just, she played it off well. I just don't know how well it's going to work, but we'll see.
This was on NXT the other night because that's
this was last night.
Because I missed about, like I said, I missed about 25 minutes of it, so that's part of
that was pretty much probably what you missed. So
okay, all right. Well, I'll check that
Evilise
out.
did have a house fire. Her house did burn down in September, so that's why she said I fought to stay mentally above, starting to see a bit of a little silver lining. But I went through a lot, including losing my home to a fire, which is no joke.
Oh yeah, that's
so I was right about that, because that's why she said. But there's all these times
terrible.
that she's been let go, and then her story is, I spoke up, and I said, there's injustice here.
What did she speak up about though?
I have to go back. I was going to have this more prepared.
Let's get her on the show. Everybody, let's get Evilise on the show.
I would love to hear her side of the story. If there is actual issues going on behind AEW and they're trying to skirt it under the rug, and she's being a whistleblower, good for her.
Well,
but I don't see it that way when it seems like everybody else is saying you're difficult to work with and you're the problem. So, and not a great look, that's the problem with all of this.
I really liked her for a long time, but yeah, recently it's been frustrating. And when you do that in the ring, I don't know, man. I said back then, man, I wouldn't employ someone who did that. To be honest, that pissed me off watching that. To be honest, because I used to get I got the shit kicked out of me for minor little things back in the day when I was a wrestler. So it's like, dude, when I see someone do that on national TV, I just go, what the fuck, dude? Why did I get my tires slashed? Why did I get beat up in the ring and shit? And why do these people just dick around like it's all fun? Like, I'm playing wrestler, I get to just dick around. Who cares? I think it's just fucking enraging.
Shit bomb.
Harold's random videos.
A shit bomb.
Thanks for the dono.
Yo Joe, what's good, man?
Harold, what's good? Dude, I'll tell you what's good, Harold. Yesterday I was walking down the street and a skunk walked by. It was 2 a.m. and I was up going for a walk. I looked at the skunk and I thought to myself, I wonder what it'd like to be inside of that thing. And then I did it. And the local police arrested me, and now the whole neighborhood's calling me skunk fucker.
Yes, jealous.
Oh my God! Shell!
Please stop punching my cock. That's all I got. Stop punching my cock. Stop punching my cock. Oh my God. Stop punching my log. Oh my God. Stop punching my cock. Oh my God. Stop it.
I watched NXT for the first time in a long time. I personally found it boring. AEW tonight was good. Was it great? No, but I was entertained and not bored. Big difference. 7/10 so and this dono is dedicated to my fav American smartass Soundwave 92 LOL.
Oh, that's so nice of Shell. Yeah, I think, Shell, I usually feel how you feel about NXT in a way. Although I like the takeovers, we all know that. But
yeah, but you and Shell kind of line up with opinions. I kind of line up sometimes more with Spaz, although he's a real kind of sycophant for some of
he's kind of a
NXT
psycho,
stuff.
yeah.
Crazy bastard.
This motherfucker breaks down every move, and I want to shoot myself.
Yeah, that's what I love at times when you really get into the full details. So it helps me with my neuroticness. But,
oh my god!
I go back just quickly looking on Google, and I mean, you can see stories about Evilise trying to get Ricochet fired because he made a farting noise during her entrance. I guess when it was being recorded, like during a fan cam.
Jesus Christ.
He's like, Ricochet comments, she has no sense of humor at all. This was totally avoidable and just makes her look bad.
Well, wait till she finds out what he does with his fingers and stuff.
Apparently, she pissed off the entire WCPW locker room in 2017. This is on Reddit back then. It says, "What's up with all of these stories of Evilise having an insanely bad attitude?" And this is from 2017, saying that she had heat with Mia Yim. She pissed off Will Ospreay. She got angered and fired from WWE, and it was not just Bill DeMott, causing problems. It was because she had a major attitude that she was released with WWE. So she's had just a history of attitude problems, allegedly, but it seems to be corroborated somehow, and it doesn't look good.
Yeah, it sounds like she sounds like a type of person that would really hate me. Like, this sounds like somebody that would hate me. Like, if I'm around people that can't deal with a little bit of a joke or a little bit of whatever, like, people just hate me. Like, they're like, fucking, you're... Soundwave, thank you for the 20, and Shell, thank you for 21. Let's see if we can get Shell on the board as top dog here, and without freezing my stream.
I wonder if it has something to do with, like, a Dominican or Puerto Rican heritage, not being able to not take things serious. Because my best friend growing up, wow. He was Puerto Rican. No, his family was that way. They were very serious. It was part of their culture.
Racist. Okay.
No, it makes me wonder if it's part of their culture and how they're raised to be very, like, they're very strict and they have a very, like, strong work ethic and moral code and very prideful.
I don't know, man.
It's
I got some Puerto Rican friends that are like. I got some Puerto Rican friends that are fucking crazy. I don't know what. Is Puerto Rico in Japan? I mean, like, what are you talking about?
No, my buddy Justin was my best friend growing up for years since kindergarten, and I'm saying,
no, I know
but
what
his
you're
father,
saying.
like, he could be sarcastic, but his father, like, they, very straight shooter, and so I don't know. I think some of the chat is seeming to agree. I think I'm not crazy on that one.
All right. I mean, I guess you might be right. I mean, Japan culture's like that a little bit. Like, there's a lot of people in India that are like that, as we know, because I made my jokes about India, and you remember hundreds of thousands of Indians attacked me.
Yeah.
On my video, and I'm like, listen, it's a joke, and they're like, it's not a joke. You don't joke about something like that, and they're losing their minds on me, and I'm like, okay, in America, like, we sort of have a different sense of humor. I don't actually mean to disrespect you. Like, it's a joke. Like, I don't think that about you. But it's saying things like that, and they're, like, going crazy. You can go read the video. There's like 50,000 hate comments at me. Like,
I can
American scumbag, you should be dead. I'm like, so wait a minute. You can't handle being called a janitor, but you're saying that I should be dead. I was like,
yeah, you should be killed.
I don't think that stuff about you guys, though. Like, that's the thing. And America doesn't think that. We love you guys. You guys are like doctors. Like, they're smart people. Like, you're smarter than I am. I don't. You probably have a better degree than I have. It's a joke, and they just don't get it. And there's other people from India, like my friend.
Oh yeah, exactly. But like, look at the Italians. I'm Italian. They have bad tempers. It kind of lines up. It's no, I didn't get a lobotomy. Jerome Spicer says my wife's Puerto Rican. It's not like that. But then, Young Miller says we don't fuck around. We're pretty serious. So, so did Agent. So they both said it.
I mean, I've got my Puerto Rican friends.
It's all a matter of culture, but
my Puerto Rican friends are tough. But I mean, they're not like fucking. Like, they will tell jokes. Like, I'll tell jokes. So I don't that's what I guess I don't understand.
Well, it was his father and his uncles. It was like a bit of the older generation that were very serious, is what I was trying to say. Like, Justin was able to be sarcastic, but they were very, like, straight shooters. So
yeah, I get you.
Yeah, it was more
just
of, like,
call me dumb cowboy.
The elders.
You just call me dumb cowboy fuck. That's all. Just call me something back. That's all. I mean, listen, we all are stupid, no matter who you are, what you are. I mean, it
was kind of like a Batista thing where, in Guardians of the Galaxy, where he makes the joke of, you can't go over my head, I'd catch it.
Right.
Like that's how it was with them. You couldn't be sarcastic. You had to be, because they would take it as, being literal.
And there's the thing about America that's funny is, like, and you say, like, white families in America, you can, all these families are so different. You can go into one family's home and they're making fart jokes and whatever, and then you could go into a family's home, though, and they could be insulted by stuff. So it's, that is just everybody. But you're right, pockets of culture do get to be a certain way. Like Japanese, Japanese fathers, can be pretty rough. You better work your ass off. So yeah, I can see that, and I guess I didn't realize that, but it does seem like most people will agree with you on that it reflects that way. I just had some Puerto Rican friends who were just kind of just like, man, like, I don't know, just.
Yeah, I think it's just this
very similar to my Hispanic friends.
I think maybe it was just like an elder thing that I didn't explain.
No, it made sense. I get what you're saying. It's a thing.
Hey, Mr. Joe and Captain Jake Sparrow. Do you want to hear a joke? How do you kill retards on death row? The electric wheelchair. Tommy pretty much did the joke when he was pretending he was the Joker.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
Buenos noches.
Ha 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 ha.
Thank you, Pacharo. What's going on, man? Good to hear you. Good to hear you,
What did you
brother.
think of? I can't even remember his damn name. Anthony Agogo and Cole Carter. I don't care for this Anthony guy. I know that they're trying to make him a big deal.
Oh, on AEW tonight?
Yes, with the liver punch that he keeps doing.
Yeah, one punch to the liver and you're out. You're done.
This isn't boxing; it's wrestling. I just don't care for it. It's not mixed martial arts. It just doesn't feel legitimate to me. Like, we see people
you mean
punch
like when
each
the
other all the time, like Jericho and Hager. They're back and forth, and they're throws to the head, and then body punches. And now I'm supposed to believe that either you, this smaller guy, you are that strong just with that one punch, like. Or like the Big Show's punch, you understood, because 7 foot, 500 pounds, like the weapon of mass destruction. His fist was as big as some people's friggin' boots. That made sense. But with this guy, you're just saying he's got a strong punch to the gut. It doesn't look believable. It ended the match in 20 seconds. It didn't showcase him at all. It just showed like the other guy's a bitch that can't take a punch. That's what I got from it.
Yeah, it's hard to say because I was trying to put the Puerto Rican flag up for everybody. Shout out to all the Puerto Rican friends, man. We got a lot of friends in Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I still have friends that I lost contact with who used to listen to this show, that we lost contact with them as soon as that storm happened.
Oh, I know. Terrible.
And I still don't know. And like guys that would comment all the time, there's 2 of them. 2 people. There's a couple people I have talked to, but there's a couple people that I never heard from again, and that scares me because they went missing from the comments in the live streams right after they lost power there for months. And that's, man, I don't know. That's actually going to bother me. I can't even think about it. But, okay,
so
the gut punch.
Right,
no.
So can't wrestle,
so the gut punch.
This is what they're doing with him. The gut punch looks stupid. It's not boxing. And having everybody else, come around, and, he doesn't feel like a big deal because it's just not working for me personally.
But so it's like, I go back to Lex Luger's, bionic elbow. How long did that work out? You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of one of the, like, is it going to work out? Or?
But at least they sold the hell out of Luger and the elbow. You know what I mean? Like, even that wasn't great. I get your.
Well, they didn't sell the hell out of this. I mean,
they did, but coming from Anthony, it just didn't seem like it was going to be that devastating. Luger at that point in time looked like a physical specimen.
I laughed. I was laughing.
He was so massive and so larger than life with the stupid mullet and the the express and all this stuff. Like, it made him what it was. The spectacle of Lex Luger is what made the finisher work. This guy doesn't have any charisma, flair. Not that fucking Lex Luger had much charisma, but whatever they couldn't pre-package for Lex Luger is basically what I'm trying to get at. But with this guy, who does he have with him? QT Marshall? That's not going to do anything for you. And you're facing Cole Carter, so it's not like it's a big victory either. This should be saved for the other dark shows. This didn't need to be on Dynamite. build them up with the undercard, and then give us something good. This was pretty much a waste.
I got to ask you a question in the chat, James Dom. I was looking at the chat, and it says, I love wrestling, but wrestling doesn't give black wrestlers the props they push or deserve. I mean, Bobby Lashley's the WWE champion. Bianca Belair is the women's champion who fought Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. And many of the main events this past couple weeks have been all black wrestlers or minorities. In fact, they put black referee and an Asian referee in the match. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird time to be complaining about that. But you're right. You're right about the past, though. You're dead on if you're talking about the 90s and the 2000, back in the day. But there were times in the 80s and 90s where they would push a black wrestler here or there, Rocky Johnson or, people like that once in a while. But, I mean, right now that's just.
But even tonight, Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, we did see, Scorpio Sky very quickly, but he was out there. We have, there is Jade was, as I mentioned earlier, there's somebody.
But James, I agree.
Will Hobbs.
I agree. So. How long did it take? I know what you're saying, James. You're right about that. How long did it take? You're right. But you were bringing up currently. You were like, I feel like now wrestling doesn't. So that's why I'm disagreeing with you that right now, there's no way. There's never, ever been a bigger spotlight on minorities and African Americans right now than there has been right
Absolutely.
now. It's unbelievable.
And we argued for years that people like Kofi and others should have had the championship. And when we finally got it, that's why we were so elated with emotion. That's why that's my favorite thing from WrestleMania 35 for a reason.
Yeah. But it doesn't, just because now I don't agree with you now, it doesn't invalidate that it happened before, But I wouldn't get hung up on that. I'd be excited that, you know what I mean? There's
sorry. He said, let's burn
opportunities.
down a CVS, and it's killing me.
Oh, he said that?
No, someone in the chat, Ratnick said it.
You're right. We should go burn down a CVS.
There's an issue, let's go burn
just
down
burn a CVS.
Whatever.
Yeah, let's burn it all down. Well, I mean, what are we doing? Let's go beat up an old white lady. Let's go choke out people and stuff.
Yeah, we'll go beat up some. Let's go. Some senior citizens.
They chased CNN away today. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, we'll steal their COVID shots like on South Park and
then stab them with them. Oh my God!
Don't
what's
forget,
the story?
You said
oh
that,
my God! You got to hear this.
$8.90 for tonight. I was $9.95, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Say that again. I gotta show you something.
You said $8.90 for tonight. I said $9.95, so we'll see.
Oh right, we picked already last week, right?
Yes, indeed. So
all right, here we go.
Last week you had 7:30 and I had 8:10.
Great moment on. Looks like I caught it on Timcast. I was watching a lot of different stuff today. And I caught this earlier, and this is fucking hilarious. Where is this? He tells a story from something that happened. Now, this time may not sync up because this might have been live. Fuck, this may not sync up. If it doesn't sync up, then... Oh, no. 43:48. Let's see if it syncs up.
Comes after they're comfortable and they see your hands in plain view.
Definitely. We had a joke because
Wait a minute. Oh, this is the wrong one. Hold on a second. Let me find it. You guys are gonna laugh at this. I think it's a funny joke that involves the medication vaccine thing that we don't try not to talk about. BLM riots and terror. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. It's not even the whole podcast. It's the idea of. Okay, I think this is it.
New flu shots every year.
This is hilarious.
I was trying to help you look for stuff.
Yeah, this is it. Watch this.
You got it.
Was it infectious? But. I get it. I'm not going to go to the doctor and then post selfies and join this tribal crowd. I think everybody's just trying to play tribal politics on this one. It's really simple.
That kind of stuff.
Talk to your doctor.
It's just absolute cringe.
Watch this. Really funny. Whether you like this guy or not, this is funny.
Yeah.
It's fine if you want to get the vaccine. I'm likely to get one in the next week or two if I can get one.
By the way, this guy looks like if the Undertaker didn't develop the right way.
I was going to say at first. I was like, is that Skinny Taker?
Yeah, look at this. It's Eggman.
Not the one that comes with free blood clots.
That was the AstraZeneca one. Dude, I saw this really amazing meme video.
Now, this is hilarious because I saw the same meme video, and I was going to tell this story on my show, but I heard this, and I said, I'll just play him doing it because it's really funny. Listen to this meme. Listen to this meme video as he describes it. If you guys seen it, it's fun.
It is really funny. It's this dude, and he's like... It's him acting all the scenes. It's one of these TikTok meme videos, and he's playing the patient sitting there lazily, and the doctor gives him the vaccine. He's like, there you go, you're all set. And then he goes, I've done it. I've collected all 5. And then he's like, what do you mean? And he goes, I've gotten the Pfizer, the Moderna, the AstraZeneca, the Johnson & Johnson, and the Sofli or whatever. And then the doctor's like, you need to go to the emergency room. And then he punches the doctor in the face. And he's like, why be immune when you can be invincible? And then he like uses telekinesis on him. It was a great meme.
Oh my god, bro, that killed me. I saw that video and was dying, but for some
if you
reason,
had a budget to do that, like Rocket Jump or Bat in the Sun, like one of those fantasy channels could have done it. You know, they could have done something crazy. That would have been hilarious. Like you see the doctor just like immediately levitate and slam into the wall, and you know, that's great. That's a good one though.
I think that's too funny. That's like, I don't know
I've
why
got
I
all
laugh
five.
more. I'm just thinking about the doctor sitting there being like, all right, well, you're all set, and you're like, yes, finally I got all 5, and the doctor's like, what do you mean? Oh, you know, I got the 5s. The doctor, just the look on the doctor's face, like, what the fuck? And that's the type of thing you got to do when you actually go to the doctor. Like, actually do that, and then have the doctor be like, what? And be like, yeah, I got all 5 of them. I'm like really freaked out, but I think that this will stop it for sure. And then
Start messing with
be
him.
dead serious. Yeah, it's like the time when I went to the doctor and I did that. What did I say? And then he went, what did the doctor say? I forget what his response was. He said something like, it was something like somebody went, my God, or something. Oh yeah, it was when I had the ear infection last year. Remember when I went to the doctor nearby? And I said,
I don't remember what you said though, but I remember the
no,
incident
he goes on a scale of 1 to 10, how's your pain? And I go, well, it's like I don't know, like I guess if a 3 isn't really that bad, and like a 10 is like, you know, like an ice pick to your skull opening up and blood coming out of your head. He goes, and as I went to say, I'd probably say a 6 or 7. As I went to say that, he went, he's staring at me because I literally started describing like your head being bludgeoned, and as I'm going, so I guess I'd say around a 7. And as I said that, the doctor went, my God. Like, oh no, I know what it was. He goes, Jesus. That's what it was. He goes, Jesus. And then I was like, oh, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that was graphic, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, but you know what I mean, like a shot to the head or a sledgehammer, you know, and I came home, I was like, Leah, you don't believe this is the doctor. I'm fucking telling him that a 10 is like when you're getting your fucking head stabbed with an ice pick. And he goes,
I wish I could
Jesus.
think on the spot, because there was another time you've done that. It wasn't in a doctor setting, but where you said one of those things where it was incredibly, you know, like that's not how you meant it, but it sounds that way.
Yeah,
it used to crack me up. Oh, I wish I could think.
Oh my God,
damn useless, screwed up brain. But yeah, back to AEW. Anthony doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. They don't have anything with that whole faction. Not having Cody there too stunk, and I mean, really, QT Marshall should be who they're focused on right now, not the other guys. Focus on QT so they can get the feud with him and Cody done.
Yeah.
That should be where the money's at here.
Right.
So I'm confused why that's a take.
Yeah, this was a weird sidetrack. There's got to be more coming to this because what the hell was that about?
And then as well with Jericho and Dax Harwood, they had a good match. Of course they always have to add in so much, but Jericho got a really good code breaker. I thought that looked well. He went to go and hit Jericho with the pile driver, and then he got distracted by Sammy. And then, you know, we saw everything happen where he hit him with I think it was the Judas effect and covered him. I believe that's what he did.
Yeah, he hit him with the Judas effect out of nowhere almost. It was pretty good shot. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. The Lion Salt was really good. I thought that was well done by Jericho. He looked good here. He actually looks like he slimmed down a very little bit, a noticeable little difference.
Right.
He wasn't breathing as heavy at the start like he was the time before, so Dax Harwood did a good job as the heel. I don't know why Dax lost, though, here, because I understand to get the Tyson angle in, but they could have done the Tyson stuff afterwards. And the Tyson thing was so bland to me, it was just disappointing. It wasn't bad, but it was so uninspired. How many times can we see Tyson just, he squares up, he knocks him out, he hit him, yay. Like, that's all they can do. At least make it feel more like the shot was good. Thankfully, at least the shot Tyson did get in tonight was, you know, really, really well done. But it's like, we made him an ancillary member of the Inner Circle, just like he's an ancillary member of D-Generation X, because they already did this when you got knocked out by Tyson with DX.
Yeah,
we saw this exact same thing happen in WWE Raw. So Why couldn't they have done anything different with Tyson? It just felt, very, very uninspired and like a parody of anything of Tyson's former glory.
Well, I mean, Tyson was really happy at the beginning. He was so he was overacting on purpose because he was like,
which is fun because when he's into it, we're into it.
Yeah, but I mean, so he's like, he knows he's going to get interrupted, so he's trying to do this thing he's actually doing the acting thing where he's like, "Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Mike. Wait a minute." It's like so it's funny, but I thought he did. But it was more entertaining to watch Tyson than to watch anything on Raw. So
and Jericho's good at soaking up the face stuff, so he does the promo in the back, and Tyson gets to cut his promo, and he says, I will call this down the middle. I may not, like the Pinnacle, but I will call it fair and simple. And if you cross me, I'll punch you again, Jericho. It was good. It was well done mic work.
I know you're both hitting me like that piece of shit, Don King, that scab ass motherfucker.
Shit bum.
Dwayne the Cock Johnson tipped $3. When the Elite leave AEW, this company will be in trouble. My problem is AEW isn't building future stars that can fill the void when the Elite are gone.
Yes. That's an issue WWE has as well. Everybody has. There's no stars because Kenny Omega was not out there tonight. John Moxley was not out there tonight. And you noticed it. It felt like a difference tonight.
They got Darby Allin. That's about it.
Darby was the only one, and then of course it has to be a hardcore match. So that was a negative personal effect of mine. But still, they had Darby
I love
Allin,
that coffin drop, man. He is literally.
Oh, that excites me every goddamn time. That makes me hard as I could possibly be. I love that coffin drop finisher. That it just looks stunning.
Yeah,
it really does. That thing, even out of one eye, I'm telling you, still looks great. I'm all about that coffin drop, and he sold the hell out of it tonight. If the match ended in the DQ because of everyone getting interfered, and then he did that to get revenge on Hardy, that would have been so much cooler. That would have made him even more of a badass. If Hardy's getting his licks in because he's got interference on the outside, Private Party is being real hecklers and they're causing problems. So that's when Sting throws in the bat. But as same thing, Matt Hardy gets the low blow, but he gets disqualified. All brawl breaks out, and that's when it leads into the Dark Order comes out to help. Matt Hardy, bam, gets put through the table, coffin drop. That's better. But I would just, it just sucks.
Yeah, it's I just love that move. I think he's the Mankind / name some really light heavyweight wrestler. Takamichi Noku meets Mankind or something. So
Shit bum.
I like that. Dwayne the Cock Johnson.
Cock Johnson tipped $3.
Hey.
Jake's botched eye surgery gave him the power of X-ray vision, so watch out, ladies.
Oh, well, actually, Jake had botched brain. It's not botched. It's not really botched. He just had rough brain surgery that ended up affecting his eye, I would say. Although you should call it botched and sue them.
Should.
I'm
sure whatever they had me sign when I was gorked and under,
Yeah, look up the other cases where they signed stuff and won money too, though. So maybe
it'll be all right.
Hello, lawyer. They're fucking rich. They can afford a couple, Even
I don't have that kind of luck. Somehow I'd end up owing them money.
I don't know, man. $500,000. Let's get it.
I eat our own shitty in Philly, we're gritty, yo, this whole city, we're gritty, yo, we might eat our own shitty, yeah, eat our own shitty, in the city of Philly, we eat shitty, we're gritty as can be, we can survive off our motherfucking own PCs, in Philly, we're gritty, in Philly, we're gritty, this whole city, we'll eat our own shitty, in Philly, that's why our mascot looks like a
David Boniface tipped $8. Jake is right. In high school, our football team had Bullet Club theme shirts for each position group. The team was confused when I told them that the logo for the shirt came from wrestling.
Wow.
People love the shirt but are okay not knowing the group.
So crazy. That's wild. But that's really awesome that they got over that much then, or they got such mainstream.
Yeah, but it was just because of the Bullet Club and Bullet Club for life, and let's have a mass shooting. Bullet Club shirts for sale because Sandy Hook happened. That's right. That was the thing. It sounds sadistic, but mass shootings are real, and people like the Bullet Club logo.
You think that's why people love the Bullet Club? Because they like mass shooting?
People are infatuated with guns, bullets. Absolutely.
Okay.
There's a violence fantasy in us all. So it was a huge selling thing for that reason. Like, it was just a cool thing to wear.
It's too
Hot
bad
Topic was sold out of that constantly.
It's too bad pressure cooker sales didn't go up after the Boston bombing. Because,
well, maybe they did. They just didn't fill them with.
We don't know about it.
Glass.
Duncachino? Don't mind if I do. What's my name?
Duncachino.
It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Nothing else to say, just want to give Nelly some love. Heart, get better sweetheart, and Clover sucks. Angry.
Soundwave called her Nelly. Oh, you better watch who you're talking about. Running your mouth. You know, go fuck around. Melly, not Nelly, but I get it, Soundwave, baby. Yeah, fucking Clover took a chunk out of her. I talked all about it on Patreon on Morning Madness. It's up now. Go listen to it if you're a patron.
Yeah, what a nightmare scenario.
Unbelievable. I mean,
were you there to witness that?
Oh, I had to stop her.
You had, yeah.
I didn't stop her though. I put her in a chokehold.
You kind of can't. That's the thing with pit bulls; their jaws lock. So
yeah, now because
it's very hard to stop them in a mid bite.
I couldn't get her off of Melly. She was in her, and Melly was...
Like, stick your finger in her asshole.
I've never heard Melly made this noise.
I'm not joking. That's what they tell you to do.
Leah put her hands in the mouth, and she released.
Wow, I'm surprised that she was able to get her...
Oh, she wouldn't hurt Leah. She loves Leah. She loves me, too.
Well, when they're in that trance, if they taste blood...
She was in a trance, for sure. Like, she was like... Melly was making noises like noises I've never heard before, bro. Like, it was fucking awful. And I beat the shit out of Clover. Like, I fucking threw her I put her in a fucking headlock.
Yeah, you got to get her off.
I was doing everything. It was funny. It's funny because
they won't release at that point. It's like, damn, how do you
Now, here's the funny thing is what I didn't say on the podcast earlier is I'm choking her out, trying to choke her out because she won't get off. And then I'm sticking my hand around into her mouth. And that's not working. Nothing's working. I'm giving her body shots, all kinds of stuff. Then finally, Leah sticks her fingers, like you said, sort of like in her nose, mouth, and everything in her mouth with her hands. And then she released. And I scared the shit out of Clover. Like, I scared the hell out of her. To the point where, at this point, now when I walk by her, she gets down and looks up. Like, so when I walk by, now Clover gets down and looks under, scared. And wags her tail a little bit, like, are you still mad at me? And I'm like, I am. I just have to look at her now. Now she's like, I don't know. And everybody said to me that she should do that with you. And I'm like, okay, well, probably right.
Animal trainers would say probably, yeah, but
yeah,
that sucks. That's a awful situation to have to deal with.
So it's just been a really shitty couple weeks with that. It was my only day off to do a bunch of really important stuff I had to do the other day, and I couldn't do it because I had to take her to the vet, and it was like $700. And
of all timing, we're like, oh well, yeah, we'll record something shortly, and then you're like, oh, by the way,
we didn't get anything recorded because of that. I can barely record anything at all anymore now that I work a certain schedule. So I talk about all that on Patreon. You guys can go listen to it. It's been just insane, man. I'm so busy. If you send me a message and I don't respond, I'm just in no man's land right now. I can't.
I know firsthand when the dogs won't let go of meat. My best friends growing up, Amy and Steven, they lived right next door, actually still in this, apartment and whatnot. And when they had a dog that hated my friggin' guts.
Ooh.
Dog's name was Sasha. Go figure. And hated my guts. One day they're having a barbecue. They didn't realize the door had gotten popped open. And I ran from through the whole backyard as a dog's chasing me, just sprinting, but it bit my ass and it latched on and would not let go. Thankfully, it didn't break skin enough to cause me to bleed, but I had the worst bruise for weeks. I couldn't sit.
Oh God!
But they couldn't get the dog to let go of me, no matter what they did. It was horrific.
Speaking of the dog, she's barking now. I don't know what's going on. Why is she barking? That's weird. I was just listening, trying to figure out why she's barking. Dude, here's the thing: is Clover will eat somebody. She'll just straight up if she
Well, that's why pit bulls get a bad rap. And it's but is it nature or is it nurture? You guys have always been very nurturing and great families, and they have that instinct in them as well. So it's hard to argue.
What happened was she was brought up in one of those Atlanta area, Georgia, like fighting things and rescued type of thing. So
those instincts are hard to get to go.
She fought over food with other dogs. She's possessive, all these other things. So in my podcast, I just talked about, Leah's dad is going to take her soon because she's a one-person dog. I talked to the vet. I talked to pit bull trainers, and I talked to a guy who fixes dogs. Like not fixes, but
like the dog whisperer.
Yeah, the dog whisperer type. You just have to spend time and love them and stuff like that. And we do, but there's so many kids and the other dog in the house and possessive. It's very hard. So there's
a comedian that does that as well. His name's Justin Silver, and he's like the dog whisperer, and he's really good with that stuff. And that was one of his suggestions is if you rehome a dog, you do it where it's a one-on-one.
Well, that's the thing is her dad doesn't do anything. So he just has a couple of beers with his friends at the bar and and then he goes home. He almost does nothing. He needs a dog. So this dog loves him. And so he's going to do great with her, So we're going to miss her, and we love her, and she loves us and stuff. But too dangerous with the kids, man. She's just too dangerous, and too dangerous, obviously, with Melly. So, yeah, man, I talk about all that on the podcast, and the link is right here. And I got a picture of Melly.
Definitely worth a listen. And, yeah, Bird, don't ever run from a dog. Mistake number one. Yeah, that was not my best decision, but my young dumbass, certainly.
Yeah, when you're a kid, you don't know that.
Wisely.
You don't know you can't run from, because you learn that when you're a kid. Every kid learns that. I feel like when they're a kid, they learn like you start running and the dog runs more and it gets scarier and you're like, oh,
yeah. Instead of standing your ground, like this was.
You actually do better if you just stop and go, stop, and you look.
Yeah, exactly. If I stayed strong, it wasn't even like the hugest of dogs, but
yeah, no. I remember the guy who saved the kid from the dog recently, and then he ran himself away from the dog, and the dog chased him even more.
Yes, yeah.
That was a crazy video. I mean, the guy saved a kid, theoretically. So I understand.
Thankfully, but yeah, no doubt about it.
But that's Melly's. That's Melly's back right there. So she looks rough. Thing. It's on Twitter. She got waffled, brother.
Is that a drain on the side? On the right side?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she's gonna have a drain in too.
She should have a drain in, yeah. And you know what? You know why this happened? Why is that? So I know to take the toys and we keep the toys away from the dogs because they love playing with each other. They play. They sniff each other and they run around the yard playing, having a good time. But what happened is I was cleaning the yard and I dug up a pile of leaves, and what happened was her old squirrel toy from years ago that she loves was in the pile of leaves, and I didn't realize it. And I had tossed all the toys into a pile on the porch, and I didn't even think about it. And I was like just cleaning up all the leaves all night and everything. And the dogs were coming in to go inside. And when Melly was first, she had to walk over the toy to get inside.
So she steps over it.
Leah thinks it could be that she was angry that Melly was trying to go first, because that's a dominance thing. But it could be that she thought Melly was going to take her toy. And that's how crazy she is over her fucking toys or anything.
Or when you grow up abused, and just like humans as well, no matter how much, it's hard to lose that feeling. Even inmates, the recidivism rates and all that kind of stuff, because it's hard to break those tendencies, basically.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jake Max Power in the chat goes, if you act like a mad chimpanzee, dogs get scared, guaranteed. You're not wrong, dude. If you act normal and then the minute the dog gets near you, start going like the dog, dude, the dog just goes like, what the fuck is that? It just doesn't know what to do, dude. You're dead right. That's too funny.
Yeah, exactly. That probably would be, especially because it was a German Shepherd. It wasn't like an overly big dog. It was big enough, but I would have done more to actually turn and yell instead of scream and run away.
Dude, that's really funny.
Don't turn into the rabbit.
That's so true. E-Murder, what's up, brother? Whoa.
The start of the match with Pac and the Bucks were dumb and stupid. Darby Allin did a sick coffin drop on the table on Matt Hardy, but taking the mask off of Rey Fenix was just over the top.
E-Murder, I felt three different ways. I felt we were going to say three different things about this, and you just nailed one of them. One, that it was over the top. Two, that and 2, that it was effective, and then 3, that it was, I guess, unnecessary. So there was like these different feelings I had about it, that it was like ridiculous almost that they even did that. But I really did. I thought it worked pretty good, but I think if they had done what we were talking about earlier, which was an 8-minute match or a 10-minute match where, they're cheating the whole match, and then at the end, throw the mask, referee distracted, then hit him in the balls, then win the match, like that would have been more effective to me, because while you're thinking about how insulting that is, then on top of that, he cheats and then wins. But instead, it's sort of just an insult that you aren't all there on. Maybe, but anyway, it's sort of nitpicking to me. Like it's not that bad. David Boniface, thank you, David.
I did really like the Statlander match. That was good. I wish it was longer. I mean,
she came out to Orange Cassidy's music. That was weird.
Yeah, but they had her Titantron, but they're really trying to get their money worth with the Pixies theme there, I guess.
Like the Pixies
I know she's
is better.
Like dating Orange Cassidy, kind of, at least in the BTE lore, but
she kind of fits into the "Where Is My Mind" deal. So, like,
yeah, that's a better theme song for her than it is for Orange Cassidy.
Maybe
I actually didn't mind Orange Cassidy's.
What was the
song.
one that Tony wanted though for Orange Cassidy? I forget. Do you remember? There was something that he wanted for him that was perfect, but it didn't. But he couldn't get it, so then he went with this. And it's,
I can't recall.
I wish he didn't do that and tell us that, because that, like,
then you're like, yeah, that would have worked better.
Like, tell us that in 2 years. Don't tell all these behind the scene things right now. Wait a couple years before you tell them.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, that's all I can think about.
Sandman Sizzle made a great point too, Joe. That the Twist of Fate got a 2 count. Like that.
Right.
When they do these hardcore matches, they always have to do these crazy stunts, and it's like, any one of those stunts should have ended the match. That's why I get upset, because it's like, how am I supposed to believe that this guy before Ogogo punched a guy in the stomach and that was enough? But you just drove his face into a steel chair, off the siding, through the table, lit his asshole on fire, and this guy's still kicking out. So, Eric Travis, we salute you. But I'm telling you, I don't know what the hell they were thinking with some of this stuff. Like, I get the trash can shots and some, but the Twist of Fate onto a chair, that's a game ender. That's it.
Right.
The only way you'd kick out of that is if he's delayed getting the pinfall. If he can't get the pinfall right away, like he does it, but he's so beat himself that it takes 20 seconds to get the cover, and he crawls, and that's enough time for Darby to kick out. That's the only way I can see you logically, unless there's interference or someone breaks up the pin. I'm saying in a one-on-one match, in this sense, you shouldn't kick out of legendary Matt Hardy's finisher.
Right.
The Twist of Fate should be better protected.
I don't know.
Jane by Jefferson Starship. That's what they wanted.
Oh, really? Well, that's...
Yeah. One pill makes you, taller. One pill makes
I
wasn't. I thought it was something else. That one I wasn't.
Yeah, that's isn't that Jane's Addiction?
No, that was Jefferson Starship. That.
But I mean, Jane says is Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
So is it Jane's Addiction or is it Jefferson Starship? Anybody know?
Starship. The song is Jane by Jefferson Starship.
Oh, now I get it. Okay, that's.
Duncachino.
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Duncachino.
It's a whole new game.
Duncachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Joe, I know you want to like wrestling, but AU is a joke with Omega as champ. The WWE stinks as well, but AU is worse.
I know you want to like
White
wrestling.
Rabbit,
yeah.
not Jane.
Todd Fair, thank you, Todd Fair. Wrestling, but AEW is a joke with Omega as champion. I don't think it's, I'm not even sometimes the biggest Omega guy, but I'm starting to like it more. If he kind of reminds me of like he could possibly be like a heelish Bret Hart type of thing, and he hasn't hit yet 100% for me, but I kind of like what's going on. I think Jericho is the best we've had so far in AEW, obviously, but I've kind of liked it a little bit, and I think part of what makes it work is Don Callis. If they didn't have Don Callis, this would really be ugly, or it wouldn't be quite right. So for whatever reason, man, Don Callis is
He's
earning.
the one that's adding to it. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's earning the paycheck because he's
What's
made
my
this
name?
better.
Filipino. It's a whole
Oh.
new game. Filipino. Want fresh cotton. In your man. Say hello to my spooky friend AJ
Oh,
Adams, that
my
stupid
God.
piece of retarded shit. Go suck Daddy Joe Cronin's dick, AJ Adams, you little twat.
Oh my God, Colonel Santos and AJ Adams, the Hispanics and blacks are fighting here on the show.
They're going after each other.
Where's the white? Who's the white guy who's racist? We have a lot of different donators who fight with each other, minority wise. Who's the white guy? Who's the white guy? I can't think of it. Can you think of it?
I can't think of it.
There's somebody white who donates that's racist asshole.
Racist asshole. Yep.
And Colonel Stutters is always Hispanic, going after AJ
And then
Adams,
Colonel
who's black.
Santos now, and yeah, we got
it's a big
everybody doing
This is a
so.
race war going on in the donations.
I guess so.
You become
And now a man from
shitball.
New Zealand.
Has a black guy main evented Mania? Rock don't count.
Yeah. Well, okay, I guess not, because Kofi Kingston wasn't the main event match.
Well, the females did. 2 black females did Saturday night.
Well, Sasha's half black. She don't count.
Well, they kept saying it over and over. The first
I know.
ever,
I'm kidding.
black versus. I know, but I'm saying that that's what they touted. So that's a story they pushed. So that was pretty monumental. It wasn't a guy, but
Yeah.
because Booker T and Triple H did that headline, no, right?
That was terrible.
He didn't win, but that didn't headline, right? I think it did actually.
Hey, just finished listening to Morning Madness, it's a good bod. Sorry Joe to hear that you've been struggling with being busy all the time and with mental health. Yesterday I got my second Pfizer shot and not gonna lie, felt like shit all today. Soreness and chills.
That's to be expected, Parker. That means it's working, so that's probably a good thing. Assuming they're all safe and everything, that should mean it's working. You should get a little cold from
Joe,
it.
what is it with you, man? I have done nothing wrong for you to get mad at me. I have been quiet for so long and you have your community saying shit about me. I have known you for these years and you haven't done anything. Sort this shit out already.
Okay, thank you for donating, fake person.
Yeah, it was WrestleMania 19, and did that main event?
Booker T and Triple H? No.
Yeah,
No, that was in the middle of the show, and Booker T hit the pedigree and then took about 3 minutes to pin
to
Booker
cover.
T.
Yeah, because he took forever. And
Yeah, it
because
was horrible.
Booker T did everything, and then Triple H really just hit that one damn pedigree. So
It's terrible.
I just couldn't
mean,
remember the placement of the match.
It was
that was Austin Rock's last meetup.
We're gonna use
That was the
we're gonna
main event.
use racism to like build the good guy versus bad guy. Then the bad guy's gonna win.
That's
It's
what
so
they did.
weird.
So awful.
Randy Viper goes, night one doesn't count. It was the middle of the night, really. Roman Samoan.
Joe, I am so fucking pumped for this Friday night when you put her monetize this belt on the line.
Are you ready?
Every time Terry's a title night, you know it'll be a good one. I think the dark horse guy to watch out for is Mikel. He won over the crowd with the cake incident.
Oh, I don't care.
I think he's got a point there.
I don't care, Mikel. Mikel ain't winning nothing. Mikel ain't winning my monetize this championship. Let me tell you that, okay? Brother.
And Mr. Pico was right.
Shit,
what about Lawrence?
bum.
Going to a convention to meet Darby this weekend.
Nice.
The coffin drop is my favorite finisher in wrestling right now.
I know.
Yeah.
David, I love it, man. I think have fun meeting him. I'm sure he's going to be fun.
He seems his cameos
Or a prick,
are
one of the
freaking
two.
awesome.
He could be a prick
Like,
too.
Out of
David, thanks.
everybody that I've seen do cameos, he's got probably one of the best bang for your buck.
Oh, really?
He films actual skits and does
Oh, wow.
like really funny things.
We should send
Cornette's
him
covered
one.
a few, but I went and watched more of them on YouTube. They are very funny. Like he'll do wrestling stuffs, and he's always somewhere with somebody famous. So you never know who he's going to be. Like the other day, he's like, "Oh, I'm doing shit with Tony Hawk," and he's with the Jackass guys. So you never.
That's
know.
crazy.
Pretty cool.
Oh shit, $25 coming in from Mickey K999.
Are you ready for this?
All I want to do is ding a ding dang my dang along ling long.
Ugh.
Cheers to Joe, Jake, and the chat.
Yo, Mickey K9, you are the top donator of the show so far, man. I'm going to get you on the board in a minute, man. Thank you so much. Venti Cinco, love you, brother. And listen, guys, if you want to hear some of my promos for Monetize This, they're up on Corrupted Nation right now. Daddy's Home #1 and Daddy's Home #2. Check them out if you haven't seen them. They're in 4K. I look insane.
So question is, I'm going to have Danny take out my staples tomorrow. I ordered the stapler remover.
You want to take out Melly's staples when you take out yours?
I can. The remover is really cheap on Amazon, so you can do it yourself. It's pretty easy. But
yeah.
Do I videotape it or live stream it? I think I should.
Ugh. Like in slow
so
motion.
Many people have said that they want to see it.
They want to see that? Put it on Patreon.
They said that they wanted to see the staples come out. So there you go. It'll be a Patreon exclusive.
The Patreon exclusive. Jake removes the staples from his head. And by the way, if for
my back and my asshole.
Everyone who becomes
one's all over here.
Every new patron who becomes every $10 new patron, the proceeds go to Jake. Every $10 new patron to see Jake take the staples out of his head. I mean, we're at 280.
I don't think that shows.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I thought it was your ass for a second. I was scared.
No, you can't see the ones on my ass. I mean, I can show you the ones that go all the way down my back, but then you got to see my ass. So how many staples do you want to see?
I wonder if people would pay more to see Melly's staples removed or yours removed. It could be we could put it up against each other.
We could do a tit for tat. There we
got a new member.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm hard.
Wow. Yeah.
I got him hard for the new member.
Okay, that
was intense.
Wow,
Mickey
K9. That was very sexy. He's now been a sponsor and a member down below. Hit that membership button down below. Become a member for like $3.99. Get a bunch of icons and middle fingers and Jake's face and my wife's face and my face, and you can put them all in the chat like all the other psychopaths. It's a lot of fun.
That's right. Sans patch, but yeah, everyone wants to see mine. Melly's is innocent, so they want to see me go through pain. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Good night, Soundwave. Thank you for your support as always. Hopefully you have a good night, buddy. But yeah, tomorrow night, out of nowhere, as always, is going to be jam-packed. There's a ton of wrestling news that Joe and I have not even delved into. And it's insane how much, we have to cover. So I literally said 60 seconds as a joke before, and I talk too much as is, but poor Joe had to listen to me rant with the news. There's a lot to go through tomorrow, and there's a lot coming up. There's plans for AEW's pay-per-view, plans for AEW specials, NXT's booking plans going forward, fallout from WrestleMania and what plans they have going forward, why they changed the pay-per-view from Money in the Bank to WrestleMania, Backlash, and more. So the only other thing tonight, I think, we covered everything else. We just, I think I would give tonight a 6. I think that's a fair score.
I agree.
It could even be like a 5.5. I mean, because I really did like the Statlander match. She looked excellent. And Jane isn't a bad song. It's got that guitar lick to it that I really do like by Jefferson Starship. But like,
I don't want to play it because they're probably
fit.
Crazy, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if that would fit as well as Pixies does, but I thought there was something else that they suggested too. I could have sworn there was another song that wasn't it, but I don't know. It just feels like Orange Cassidy, they say he hasn't lost in ages. He's completely undefeated for the last year in singles competition, and he's done so well, but they've done nothing with him. He had that great feud with Jericho that kind of overstayed its welcome a little bit, and then nothing. He fell to the wayside. I wish they knew what they. I know they really need a crowd to get behind him, but at least they have the 1,000 or so fans. So really, I'm genuinely hoping that they can go ahead and keep adding more people and build it back up. No, Double or Nothing is not coming to Vegas. They're doing it at Daly's Place again, which is really upsetting. I mean, again, they didn't do anything with Ricky Starks, Brian Cage. They felt missing tonight. Why leave them backstage for the Team Taz thing? That was bizarre. I know you're trying to build up dissension, but you punished both guys, not just Ricky Starks for speaking out and acting overzealous. And, Cage had to stay in the back. It just didn't really, why would you not? I don't know. The whole thing just didn't work for me. The stuff with Christian, that was a bit of a waste. That was the one thing that I forgot to bring up.
I forgot that we didn't talk at all about Christian. You're right. We've totally left that off.
Because it is completely forgettable, and that's the sad part. He had one good match so far with Frankie Kazarian, but what are they going to do with him? Is he going to go and get involved in the Omega feud? Not right now, because there's so much going on there. There's story on top of story on top of story. So they need to find something for him to do. This is where Christian Cage should be going against like a Darby Allin and having a really good series of matches for the TNT, title or that he could be. But instead, we're getting him coming out and being offered into Team Taz. Why are they looking for more members as is? They just got their ass beat by Darby Allin and Sting. They should be out there trying to prove themselves again.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense with Christian or Team Taz. So
yeah, I don't quite understand any of that, and it's not come together here for us tonight with this. Next week, hopefully.
Joe trying to Benoit Clover. I'm sorry, bad joke.
I really did try to Benoit. I really did try to, I tried to choke her out. I mean, like I wouldn't. I had wanted
You're
her
not
off.
trying to hurt her, but you do what you have to, Christ. Because
You got to get her off the dog. Yeah, I knew that she'd be all right. But I mean, she didn't care. It was crazy. It was fucking. I mean, I love my 14-year-old dog, Melly. I'm going to protect her. So I was protecting her. But it didn't work. Leah's fingers in her mouth did.
Fake. Bullshit. You're fake. All you do is talk shit about me, and your chat comes to my live streams and call me a slob.
No.
If you were a good friend, you would say something to your community. I am the reason for your channel to grow. Fuck you.
No, you're not. I'm the reason for yours.
It says if you do get into a situation with a dog, don't act big and tall. It says avoid eye contact, turn your body to the side so they see less of you, cross your arms, completely ignore the dog, be still for a short period of time, even if they charge at you initially, then start to move away slowly and get a barrier between you and the dog. Like that's
that's about
professional suggestions.
That sounds about what I would do normally, or
but if a dog is actually biting you, it's like what when dogs attack, what to do when aggressively being attacked by a dog.
My dog wouldn't bite me though, because again, the dogs like really love me and Leah. Like Clover wouldn't do that to us. Like I can.
It says if you must be bitten, use your shin or forearm. A dog bite to the thigh can cause fatal bleeding because you don't want to hit the femoral artery. So be mindful of that.
All the spooky people booing Hulk Hogan are a disgrace.
Oh,
he is a
God.
real American. AJ Adams, put some respect on Meekel's name. He has a bigger dick than you. Joe, that belt is going to the boy. Just Stephen German. I love white.
Oh my God. By the way, Stephen German hit me up the other day. He said that
wow, of all people.
Well, yeah, he just said, Joe, I'm all alone. I don't even want to try to do his voice, but he was saying, Joe, I'm all alone in my apartment tonight, and I was watching Monetize This, and I was hoping Leah would be there. And then I said, why were you hoping Leah would be there? And he said,
Oh, God.
And that's the message he left me.
That's so disgustingly creepy.
Yeah, it was very strange. I was like, well, whoa, what the hell does that mean? That's a very strange thing to say.
Yeah.
Will Tactics. Holy shit. What's up, Will Tactics?
Weed every day.
Smoke weed, Will.
Will Tactics tipped $4.20. Can the JSC Army get some money together for Jake? He really needs a tricorn to match the eye patch and raspy voice.
Yeah.
Ugh, then Mitty, we call him Captain Jake. Ugh, give him your booty or he make you walk the plank. I'm high, by the way.
That's a great point, Will Tactics. We should definitely get that going. Hector Gutierrez in the chat. What's up, brother? Thanks for being a member, Hector Gutierrez.
That's why I'm having Dan take the staples out, because it's so goddamn expensive.
Yeah, that's just to take them out. It's like
Jazzy Utah tipped $5. Jake's eye patch make him look like a porn star parody Bond villain.
That's a great point.
that's what I said. A Wish or Walmart, Bond villain. Yeah.
Make a wish like Bond. Jazzy Utah, thanks for becoming a $5 shit bum. OG Jazzy Utah.
They say if you're bitten, Joe, don't pull away. Resist the urge. Keep it in mind because pulling away is going to tear your flesh and make the injury much harder to heal and recover. Said if the dog attack escalates to this point, you actually want the dog to latch on. Why? The dog only has one mouth, but you have two hands. If you could manage, grab the back legs off the dog to lift it off the ground while it's biting you. However the fuck you're supposed to do that, but that's what it says to do.
Wow.
It says avoid getting bit in the neck, chest, and
I might have gotten possibly I got Melly more hurt because I sort of came at her to pull her off, and I probably should have grabbed the back legs then.
Yeah, you just don't know. Yeah, carry an extra sausage in your pants. I should have learned from the Flash.
And I should have just ran in and grabbed a hot. See, but if that would just make it worse because then she'd be like, "I'll kill you to get that hot dog he has." I mean, like that. She's crazy. I'm telling you, man. Like it was.
Yeah, it's a thing. I hate saying like, "Oh, pit bulls are bad," because they're not. Because it's nature versus nurture, but it's in their nature to be.
Yes, they're
instinctually
protective.
Violent. You can train them to be good dogs.
Yeah.
She
needs a trainer.
Just like people can be bad people. You know, it's with everything.
She's gonna be so much better when she's with Leah's dad, and he trains her, and she's just with him. She's gonna love it. It's gonna be great for her. Because otherwise, they're like, "Oh,
it'll keep him occupied." Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel really. I love her, like, and I love my other, of course, Melly. So it's been a bad week for me with this, and then like just I don't know, man. There's just so much bad everywhere. And then I'm working so much that I have no idea what's going on. My kids are crying. Where's Dad? It's awful. So it's crazy. I think we got everybody. We got everything going. We're gonna continue this tomorrow. Out of nowhere, lots to talk about tomorrow. We'll continue this. Plus, me and Jake will record a podcast about everything but wrestling, and that will go up on Patreon. There's so much to talk about there. Thanks to everybody who dropped a couple bucks tonight, man. Seriously.
Yeah, everybody's a true badass. Make sure you check out the Patreon. There'll be another episode this weekend up of the Unapologetic and Completely Random podcast with another special guest, so that'll be fun. But
ooh, Jake's got another one.
Phoenix lost his mask. They can complete the trifecta if they get rid of Nyla's nuts. Mr. T and Mania won, and he's a Darky Riddle and Kushida lose their matches, then get to fight the respective champs. WTF? Shell and Steph need some HLA. Fry back.
Oh, God, Mr. Pico Boulevard. Good Christ.
There was a lot, Mr. Pico. Oh, and as I do every week, just letting you guys know, this is the lineup for next week. Hikaru Shida is taking on Tay Conti for the AEW's Women's Championship. Maybe Tay will win it. We've had Shida as the champion.
I bet you that match sucks ass.
Nothing with it.
That match is going to suck.
I don't think it's going to be great, but hopefully she can win it so we can get the belt somewhere else.
Oh,
I'd
God,
love to see
no.
Britt Baker with it.
No, I don't want Ty Conti to have that belt.
Oh, I think she could be transitioned.
WrestleMania 1 new Mark Sloll. That's if you want to count a celebrity, but he's black and main evented WrestleMania, and you can count LT for WrestleMania 11 as well.
There it is. That's the one I was looking for, Harry, Steve.
Yeah,
Lawrence
Mr. T,
Taylor.
LT.
WrestleMania.
I said LT before.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. WrestleMania
I said
11.
Lawrence Taylor, but he was in there, but he's not an actual wrestler, so people always gave that shit.
Well,
Same
but
with Mr.
also,
T
dude, and that's 1995, so like that's how long ago a black man main evented WrestleMania and won.
And he won.
Lawrence Taylor won the main event of
stars
WrestleMania.
That they were trying to,
because again, Vince put stuff where he values it. You see, the WWF title was before that, and just like he thought Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston wasn't the biggest match to end the show. It's not always about racism with him.
And I also heard that if they did it all in one night, that they were going to have Bianca and Sasha close the show regardless.
Really?
That's what they wanted.
I don't know, man.
But the reason they wanted on night one, I can see it because they would love to tout themselves as the women's revolution.
I can't believe Vince is into doing that to touting the SJW stuff. I can't believe Vince goes along with that. I'm shocked.
It is shocking, but this way he can have both. I got my title and my pat on the back with the women's stuff.
Yeah.
So, and really, of the two feuds, neither of them were presented well or really of anything of note. So it was like there was nothing real to like celebrate. It wasn't that Kofi victory. It wasn't that, it was just like, great, you're there. You won the Rumble. That's great, Bianca. At least you have a good, that was good. But they made it such a muddied mess to get there. And I don't know why. It was so simple.
Yeah.
Just challenge Sasha. She's the champion. You won the Rumble. I want to face you.
Yeah, that's it. Boom.
Paige and Jake, sorry for this totally off-topic and depressing question. This is a two-part question. The first is, which of these three countries will America invade next? China, Iran, or North Korea? Also, will nuclear weapons be used in our lifetimes?
Oh my God, I hope not.
I hope not. Yeah.
I say we don't invade any of those countries, but I do say we have some kind of squabble with Iran.
I think there will be another world war.
Doomsday, thank you. Really?
Yeah, in like another 10 years, 2030.
Oh my God,
probably.
please, no.
I hope not, but It'll be online, really, probably. So next week, Powerhouse Hobbs against Christian Cage. Ricky Starks is taking on Hangman Page, so we'll get to see both Team Taz members in action. Trent is taking on Penta. Woo! And then we also have a follow-up with the TNT champion. So we'll see Darby Allin as well. So not that stacked of a night, but pretty decent. Missing some big names still. No Kenny Omega, no Moxley, no Cody Rhodes.
I'm worried.
So we'll see what
I'm
happens.
worried about next week, but then again, I was worried about one a couple weeks ago. It was awesome. So
I don't
Why
think
are
they're
you
going
not
to get that
taking anything seriously?
$9.95 tonight.
Everyone in your community calls
we'll see
me
what
a pedo.
happens.
I still don't understand why you kicked me out to be on your show. I didn't do anything. You are even telling my fans to not watch me. I have no views because of you.
I know that's not the real Tommy, because the real Tommy messaged me to tell Joe thank you, actually. And my retarded ass, Joe, forgot to tell you. So Tommy said
I don't know
thank
what
you
you're
for
talking
hanging
about.
up. That caller that called the other day, pretending to be a terrible person. You didn't go along with it. You did the right thing.
But he said he told everybody I shit on him.
I know. Go figure. But he messaged me and said, I appreciated Joe not going along with it.
Oh. I heard from everybody that Tommy was bashing me that I attacked his dad or something. But he tells you that? I don't know. I'm confused by this whole community. But anyway, we're out of here. Bye. I don't know who the fuck is real, who's what anything. I don't give a shit. See you tomorrow out of nowhere, and then we'll see from Monetize This when I put the belt on the line, motherfucker.